Okay, hi everyone. Tahara Ezrahti here with Applied Intuition, and today I'm here with Corinne Cevaer-Corey, and she's a counseling astrologer, and we're just at the summer solstice of 2025, and so I wanted to check in with her and ask her what we can look forward to for the next 3 months until the fall equinox, because the solstices and equinoxes kind of set the energy moving forward into the next season. So Corinne, welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, and so tell us, what should I be focusing on this summer
Well, so
astrologically?
this is a huge, big time of pivoting, and this particular solstice was and is a huge portal, bigger than past ones, and it's really time to choose love over fear and be mindful every moment of our life. Is this thought creating fear? And then redirect, redirect, redirect. Um, it's about we are really being supported in staying optimistic and confident. um, we've got to examine our self-limiting beliefs and thoughts, and examine our toxic patterns and work on release. So every full moon going forward for the next 3 months, we could focus on release, 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 cleansing. Um, so the big theme is expansion and growth. Growth of material things, but also growth of our spirit, growth of our mind. Uh, like
Okay, and what's the
about Sun Jupiter conjunction that was in the solstice.
so can you say that again? So again, tell us what are the astrological configurations that's setting that energy up?
Well, the whole chart is supportive, and I can't mention everything, but
Right.
this particular solstice, the sun is entering the sign of Cancer. That's every year it happens.
Mm-hmm.
This year in particular, it's conjunct Jupiter, which just entered the sign of Cancer June 19th and will be in Cancer for the whole year until June 30th of 2026. So for the whole next year, we have Jupiter traversing the sign of Cancer, but right now it is conjunct very tightly, 2 degree, tight orb to the sun of the solstice. And that particular configuration is square another conjunction of Saturn and Neptune in Aries. And so that's kind of like the skeleton of this particular chart. And then everything else seems to be supportive in the regeneration theme, the reinvention, and the speeding up of energies as well, because many planets are within the first 2 degrees of their respective signs, and there are four planets that are on what we call the world axis, which is critical points in the chart that show importance, potency. So we are really changing eras, and this particular time in space is indicative of one of the doors that we're taking, one of the big pivots, one of the big shifts.
Okay, so let me just kind of review there. So we have at the solstice, we have the sun conjunct Jupiter, both moving into Cancer, and that's a big thing. And then we also have Saturn
It's the one in
in
a lifetime, the
once in a lifetime.
conjunction in at the solstice, because last year it wasn't the case, and next year, even though uh, Jupiter will be in the last degrees of Cancer, it won't be close to the sun, which is at 0 degree of Cancer. So this is like once in a lifetime event,
Okay.
cosmic.
Yeah, so the solstice is always kind of an event, and to have the sun, which is already highlighted at the solstice, conjuncting Jupiter is a big deal.
It's a huge, huge big
Yeah.
deal because this particular portal is about bringing in light. And it's the longest day of the year for the northern hemisphere. And in the southern hemisphere, it would be the shortest day of the year. But that's when they turn on all the lights, and there are all these light festivals, and you just bring the light within. And for us, where it's more the summertime, so
Right.
It's about being in the light and shining your light. One of the big themes, right? Like I said, choose love over fear, and the other one is shine your light. And yeah,
Okay. And then so you talked about the sun conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, and then you also mentioned Saturn in Aries that's squaring Jupiter, and that's acting as kind of a counterbalance or providing some temperance or structure to this expansiveness of Jupiter. Want to say a little more about that?
yeah. So first, maybe let's talk about what Jupiter is going to kind of Jupiter in Cancer and the Sun in Cancer and the Cancer theme is kind of bringing out of us and
Okay.
what we're feeling with the next 3 months. It's we're going to have increased sensitivity, increased levels of emotions, and so the Saturn would be about, you know, check and balances of excesses of roller coaster emotional, you know, situations. Um, we've got an increased desire to connect with community, with people, with family, with to create a family or to connect with our family or to create connections with people that we could consider family, basically support systems. And we want to be, there is an increased sense of wanting to feel secure and safe. Um, Cancer is all about the moon, and she's about family, home, land, real estate. But it's like, what would our, you know, dreaming about my ideal home and taking steps toward manifesting it. With the family situations, it's about, you know, re-injecting harmony and flow in those relationships. Um, there is a great mother theme, the nurturing theme. So if we have mother related wounds to release, to work through them, to learn to nurture ourselves and self-care. That's a huge theme this summer.
Okay.
Self-care, self-nourishment, finding ways that feel secure, that bring us happiness, joy, and security, of course, but just groundedness. And you know, I have written right here next to the sun in the chart, it's about bringing out more joy, more fun, more play this summer. And with the Jupiter, it's about traveling as well.
Right.
Long distances, travels of the mind, you know, philosophy, exploring metaphysics, exploring new ideas. It's growth, expansion. And then Saturn is about, you know, putting, like you said, structure in place in order to actually actualize, manifest those projects that we want to put together. So it's the heart is really highlighted here. It's all the matters of the heart, you know, with the Sun Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, yeah, and the Moon is in Taurus and Venus is in Taurus. So those are again supportive of this energy.
So as you were talking, one of the images that was coming to mind was some maybe big fun family gatherings this summer, or camping trips or trips to Europe or Fourth of
Combination of the two.
July, community gatherings, that kind of festive fun, celebrating family and community and outside and nature.
Mhm.
Those were some of the images. And then the Saturn part is just like doing the work to structure that to actually make that happen.
Right. And then healing, a big healing theme, and healing with water in particular, and discoveries of the potential of water to be a healer conduit. Feminine energy being, you know, released quite greatly this summer and emphasized, um, because the great manifester is the feminine energy is the great manifester.
Mm-hmm.
And the ideas come from the masculine energy, but the doing, the incarnating it, you know, manifesting it is a feminine energy of earth. grounding.
Okay. Great. So just kind of maybe the last point so we can keep this kind of concise. You had also mentioned that Mars is in Virgo, and that can help us with some of our
Right.
health
So
issues and
Mhm.
healing, organizing our health routines and things like that.
Yes, that's what I shared with you before. Mars entered Virgo June 17th and is staying all summer until August 6th in Virgo. And Virgo is a sign of health and wellness, healing. And it's about getting organized, needing to put things in order, going to the gym, establishing an exercise routine, strategizing about the future, all these dreams of expansion and growth that are coming to us, how to go about it in a concrete way. Um, you know, the Mars in Virgo is also saying to pay attention to details, um, and to check off the to-do list.
Okay.
But there is a great theme of healing this summer, in all kinds of ways, in holistic and non-holistic ways, and natural ways of doing it. Connecting heart connections are healing in and of themselves. So
Right.
yeah, very
Okay.
strong this summer.
Okay, well, that's a great little uh concise rundown for the summer. So what I take away from that is that it's time this summer, it's time to have fun, it's time to connect with family and community, it's time to maybe travel. There might be a lot of healing issues around mothering and land and property and all that, but it's also time to realize that we could be maybe feeling some excessive emotion, excessive sensitivity, and to kind of lean on that Saturn to temper our emotional
Right.
roller
And also,
coasters and to help us actually manifest what we really want, not just what our emotions are kind of pulling us from one direction or another. And then with the Mars and Virgo to really focus on, whatever health related things we want to manifest, that Mars and Virgo can give us the energy to focus on getting organized and actually making that come to fruition too. Is
yeah.
that a good way of kind of summarizing?
Yeah, and Saturn is conjunct Neptune in Aries, and so two things. The excess of this Jupiter in Cancer and square Neptune. A lot of people are going to be asking existential questions. What's my purpose? What's the meaning of my life? They're looking for a sense of mission. So that's big also. And also, lastly, Saturn in Aries, it's about becoming sovereign, um, doing the opposite of victim mentality, which it can be a negative of excess Cancer, by the way.
Mm,
Um, you know, um, Cancer, Jupiter will grow whatever we put our attention to, what we focus on. So we need to just, you know, allow ourselves to think, to dream big, to dream big, and trust that we can actually achieve that. Um, so
so
I wanted to make sure that, yeah.
yeah, that's an important point, that getting out of that victim mode, not letting that take over. It seems like the Saturn in Aries and then the Mars and Virgo can help us kind of have the strength to, in a sense, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps instead of getting stuck in that victim mentality.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had that
okay, Corinne. Well, thank you so much. This is really informative. If anyone would like to learn more and get a personal reading, personal astrology reading
So
from
wherever
Corinne,
that Cancer is in your chart, that's key. The domain
yeah.
of life that's ruled by Cancer is where that Jupiter in Cancer is traversing this next year. And that's where it's expanding everything and giving you support and growth and confidence and joy and potential for expansion.
Okay, so if you want to find out more about how Jupiter in Cancer is affecting your personal chart, you can contact Corinne to book a reading. I'll put all that in the show notes below, her email address and all that. And everyone have a wonderful solstice, a wonderful summer. Take care and bye bye.
Enjoy,
Thank-
celebrate.
Enjoy, everyone.